What is up, people? Hope everybody's well. Today's video is going to be all about this strap, which has been on my arm for exactly 1 year. I did an initial video review of the Whoop app pretty much a year ago, and the fact that it's still on my arm is obviously a good sign. It's obviously not a waste of money and not a waste of time, but I thought I'd go into a little bit more depth about why I'm wearing it, the benefits, is it going to be beneficial for you, and what are some of the potential competitors like. So in today's video, we're going to talk mostly about the Whoop Band and the Oura Ring, because those two devices really go in depth to tracking, analyzing sleep, which is what I am mostly concerned about. All the other ones out there, like the Apple Watch, the Fitbit, and so on, they are good in their own right, but they're not necessarily going to be providing the same amount of data that the Whoop Band and the Oura Ring provide. So I'm not going to talk about them too much. Let's head over to the gym and get a sweat on. So what does this band do? Well, it's got an inbuilt heart rate tracker, which is basically tracking my heart rate throughout the day and throughout the night when I'm sleeping. Collects all of this data, sends it to my phone, and then all of that data within the app is presented to me in a way which is going to be of some use. Okay, so when I'm at the gym, it's tracking how much strain I'm going through. It's also tracking what my heart rate is doing throughout the day, and it's also tracking what it's doing, more importantly, when I'm sleeping. This is one of the reasons why I invested in this band in the first place well over a year ago, because I was so curious to understand more about my own sleep and how I could optimize it to get the very best out of my day. Because without a doubt, I've noticed from wearing this, whenever I'm getting 6 hours sleep, 6 to 7 hours sleep, I kind of feel okay. I feel like normal, but I'm pretty tired. Like, it's just like meh. If I'm getting between 7 to 8 hours sleep, I feel good. The sessions are very good, and my mood is like pretty elevated. When I get more than 8 hours sleep, I feel superhuman. Like, I literally feel strong. My sessions are the very best. My mood is elevated throughout the day. I just have like an amazing day. So what I want to try and do is to try and get at least a minimum of 7 hours sleep every night. Last night was a fine example of an unbelievable sleep. We got 8 hours within the app. Not only does it tell you how long we were sleeping for, but it breaks it down into how many hours throughout the night I was awake, how many disturbances there were, what my light sleep was, REM sleep duration, and deep sleep duration. Ideally, you want to try and get as much REM sleep and deep sleep as possible. And from that, it will calculate my recovery based on that sleep. So most important thing which is going to dictate recovery is the heart rate variance, and this is something which the Apple Watch doesn't do. It will also provide me with my resting heart rate, respiratory rate, and it also shows me my blood oxygen levels, my respiratory rate, and my skin temperature. Okay, this is something which the old band, the 3.0, didn't provide. It didn't calculate blood oxygen level and the skin temperature. So this is a little bit more updated, but honestly, my blood oxygen and skin temperature have never really been out of the green. I think the blood oxygen was out of the green one time when I had a particularly loose evening, which we won't go into details, but there's one thing which is really interesting about this. Whenever I go on a night out and I drink alcohol, my heart rate variance is so bad. My recovery after 2 drinks or more is almost always in the red. Red is like below 30%, which is not good. So this band is really good because it almost pushes me away from drinking alcohol, because I know if I drink, my score the next day is going to be really poor. And ultimately, I do consider myself to be a bit of an athlete, and if I want to optimize my recovery and my performance, I need to get a good night's sleep. And to get a good night's sleep, I need to be staying away from everything which is going to interrupt that. Okay, so anything which is going to elevate my heart rate throughout the night, anything which is going to bring my heart rate variance down, I want to try and eliminate. So this really does keep me on the right track. And another interesting thing about this is it actually has predicted when I'm about to get ill. There's been, I think, 2 or 3 occasions in the past year where I've woken up and like my recovery's been really low, and the sleep report has told me my respiratory rate has been really high, heart rate variance really low, resting heart rate has been high, and I've thought to myself, oh, you know, I'm not actually feeling that great. And then lo and behold, you know, later on that day or the next day, I've actually become really ill. So it's quite good at predicting this, and when my body is in this state, the best thing for me to do is just rest. So without this, I probably wouldn't have even realized, and then tried to live my life as normal and go to the gym and push myself, and probably made the situation even worse. So whenever the health monitor tells me that things are out of range, then I'm starting to get a little bit concerned as to whether, okay, what's going on? What's wrong with my body? Why am I not feeling 100%? Am I about to get ill? And then I can take the following necessary steps in order to try and fix myself. So let's get the cost out of the way first, because I know a lot of you guys will be concerned about how much this is going to set you back. The Whoop Band. The Whoop Band itself is free, but you have to pay $30 every single month. It's a subscription model. The Oura Ring costs $300 for the ring itself, and then after that, it's $7 a month. So the initial investment up front for the Oura Ring is higher, but the subscription after that is a little bit lower, right? So it's both kind of annoying because you're kind of stuck with a subscription model, but that's just the way it is. It's the way things are going these days. The good thing is, when you are a member, paying subscriber of the Whoop Band, whenever they bring out a new piece of hardware, they will send you it for free. I don't know 100% what you have to do with the Oura Ring. Like if they bring out a new ring, I'm not sure if you have to go and buy a new ring or they give it to you for free. I would imagine you probably have to buy another ring because the ring's pretty expensive and the subscription's pretty low. One of the competitors which I almost went with was the Oura Ring. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've heard it is pretty decent and it is quite good for the sleep tracking. However, the biggest drawback is that it's a ring, okay? It goes on your finger. Now, that would be the most uncomfortable and annoying thing for me to wear doing what I do on a daily basis, which is lifting weights, okay? If I try and squeeze onto a dumbbell or hold a barbell or do a pull-up, the ring is just gonna cause a lot of discomfort and I'm gonna scratch the hell out of it. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't go for the ring. And personally, wearing the band, I find, is pretty easy to wear. It's not annoying. The only time I've ever taken it off is if it's seriously clashed with an outfit, or if I've been on a particularly loose week in Ibiza and I really just don't want to know what my heart rate is doing. So that's the only time it's been off my arm. You can see in all my vlogs, I'm literally wearing it all the time. And you can change the color of the band as well. Like any kind of style you want, if you want a white one, a purple one, a green one, whatever, they've got a mad selection of colors which you can swap or change up. It's completely up to you guys. Some potential drawbacks and annoying things, I may as well be honest with you guys. It is an honest review. I don't think it necessarily accurately calculates how many calories you burn per session, but I don't think there is anything out there which can accurately track how many calories you burn when you exercise. I think that's just the way it is. And I think it is a little bit less generous when it comes to weightlifting, particularly when you compare it to the Apple Watch. But I think the Apple Watch is a little bit over generous. So I don't really get too into how many calories I've burned on a day-to-day basis. I'm more bothered about what my sleeping is like and what my performance is like. I've also found that it does have like a built-in coach, which tries to coach you how much sleep you should have and what your optimal sort of strain should be during the workout. I think this is not really necessarily, doesn't really benefit me, and I think the sleeping coach is a bit outrageous because it sometimes tell me, oh, in order to, perform your best tomorrow, you need to get 10 hours sleep or 11 hours sleep. And I'm like, that's just unrealistic. There's absolutely no way I'm ever gonna get 10 hours sleep. So I think the most pressing question which all of you guys are asking is, why do I need one? Do I need one? Who's it for? Well, if you're the type of person that's just trying to become overall healthier and improve their lifestyle, then I think eating healthy and going to the gym and just trying to improve your sleep is enough. Okay, I don't think it's necessarily an essential investment. I think it's more important to actually invest in a gym and invest in eating healthy food. That should be the priority. But if you're the type of person who struggles with their sleep, who wants to improve their sleep, who wants to understand more about their body, who wants to really optimize and maximize their performance and their recovery, especially if you're an athlete or sports person, then I would recommend investing in it. If you've already got the Whoop Band, or if you're thinking about signing up, definitely get involved with my group. If you go onto the Whoop app and search for First You'll see my group, so get yourself involved, and we can all compare how well we slept, how hard we've trained, and so on. It's going to be a really cool community. Ultimately, there's pros and cons to both of them, the Oura Ring and the Whoop Band. I guess it's down to personal preference as to which one you would prefer to wear and how much you want to pay. At the end of the day, I ended up going for the Whoop Band because I just simply can't see myself ever wearing a ring when I'm training and lifting weights and so on. I think both of them are very good in terms of the sleep tracking and the data which they provide. In terms of the activity tracking and so on, I think they're quite good. Like I said, I don't believe that either of them are going to be 100% accurate when it comes to tracking how many calories that you burn on a day-to-day basis. One or two things I would like to see improvements to the Whoop Band in the future. One of them is I would like them to start counting steps or tracking the step count. I think that's really important and interesting, something which I would love to know on a day-to-day basis. I don't think it's necessarily a huge factor when it comes to contributing to your overall fitness, but I think it is a huge factor in contributing to how many calories you burn on a day-to-day basis. The Whoop Band doesn't do it. They actually say on their website they specifically don't do it for a particular reason. I'll put the quote up on the screen, but I'm hoping that does change. The Oura Ring as well doesn't track the step counts, and I think that's why the Apple Watch has an advantage over both of these two in that sense. The second thing which I would like to see is, I guess, just an improved battery life. The battery is decent, but I think with everything it could do with lasting a little bit longer. I think the ring itself, the Oura Ring, the battery life is a little bit longer compared to the Whoop. But I guess it is pretty convenient in terms of charging it, but I would just like it to last longer without needing a charge, especially when I'm traveling or on the move, because whenever I'm on the move, I'm traveling or staying somewhere else, I have to make sure that I'm always going there with my battery and the charger, because if I don't and I forget it, then this will pretty much run out after 1 to 2 days and then it's useless. And I'd also like to finish off by saying that although these devices provide you with a lot of information, always take it with a little pinch of salt. They're not always 100% accurate, and I don't believe that you should have your entire life, dictated about what this band or the ring or your Apple Watch is saying. Okay, just use the information as a form of guidance, and then based on that, make sensible decisions based on what you know and your own common sense and so on. So I hope this video has been of use for any of you guys who have potentially thought about investing into a device to improve your performance in the gym, improve your recovery, and to get to understand a little bit more about your sleep and your sleeping habits. I certainly have learned a lot about mine, and I really don't see myself taking this off ever in the future. The video has been a little bit biased because I've never really tried out the Oura Ring for myself, so do forgive me on that part, but so far my experience with Whoop has been extremely good, and I would highly recommend it to everybody out there who is thinking about getting one. So thank you very much for watching the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as always, and I'll see you in the next one.